Hey guys, it's Morgan, and today I'm here with Nicole Castroman, the author of Blackhearts.
Hello.
Here at the Southern Festival of Books, and I am going to interview you today.
Yes.
Awesome. I have a question that I have to ask everybody, because I find it's a very good way to know someone without really knowing them.
Okay.
What is your favorite and least favorite word or phrase in the English language?
My most favorite is conundrum.
Yes.
I love that word. I
awesome.
like to just throw that out there, conundrum. And I think, I hate to be like so many other people, but I do have to admit that moist is just an ugly word to me.
It's uncomfortable.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, so those are the two. I love conundrum though. Throw that out there whenever you can.
Conundrum's awesome. What is your least favorite book you've read this year?
Oh, least favorite.
It's hard.
It is. I can't. Honestly, I can't think of one that I like really, really hated.
But yeah, I don't hate books this year.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some that irk me,
Yeah,
but
where you're kind of like, oh, that was different, but
that
yeah.
was not, yeah. What book inspired you to be an author when you were a child?
Okay. I love this question. Little Women. I loved. I'm a huge fan of like the historical books. Little House on the Prairie. I mean, that series was my jam. And honestly, Little Women, I thought I was Joan March. So I did. I mean, so many girls said that, but yeah. I know somebody who said they liked Amy more than Joe, and I'm like, how can you like Amy?
Oh.
I know.
Jane Austen. Is...
and Pride and Prejudice, of course.
Sensibility is my favorite.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. That's different.
It's really good. It was the first one that I read. And I really relate to the characters, because she wrote it when she was like 16. So
I know. Amazing, right?
I was like, I want to be that.
I know.
I
Goals.
want to do that. Oh, absolutely. Okay, have you ever played Kiss, Marry, Kill?
Yeah. Oh, no, I've never played it, but I've seen it. Okay, these are fun. You got good questions.
Thank you. Percy, Harry, Peeta.
Okay.
Our favorite YA males.
Okay, Percy, Harry. I'm gonna have to go with Glor. You. This is a conundrum. Okay, let me go with Kiss. I'm so much older than all these characters. Let's see. Let's age me down, okay? Let's age them down. Or age them up. Let's age them up. Let's see. Okay, so Peeta, as an older man, I would probably want to. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna kill off Peeta. Is that okay?
That's what I did. No, that's fine. He's whiny. And
because I left him in the book, but then afterwards I saw this joking thing saying, you know, what did Peeta actually do in the Hunger Games? It's like, oh yeah, he kind of. Anyway, so okay, kill Peeta. I would say marry Harry and kiss Percy.
I flipped those.
Did you?
Yes.
That's a good
My mom was
trio.
like,
Yeah.
don't do those. Don't do those. That's so awkward. And I'm like,
Oh, they're fun.
YOLO.
They're fun.
So what is your favorite character in Blackhearts?
Blackhearts. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I really love Teach, but I think Anne is my favorite. Anne is just, because she's so fierce.
Fun.
And she's just...
Yeah, that first scene with the butcher, I was just like, okay, we're going there. Awesome.
Yeah. And it's, you know, that first scene has never changed in any of your revisions. It's because when you meet somebody who you like, you always remember that first meeting, right?
Yes.
Like, I remember the first time I saw my husband and all these things, right?
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to have a visceral reaction to that scene. When they meet, bam, there is no question when they meet, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh good, I'm glad you like that.
Amazing. Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, okay, yes, this is good.
Who's your favorite character?
As far as I've gotten, I think it's Anne.
Anne?
She's just awesome.
Yeah, I do love Anne.
She's just awesome.
Thank you.
So, why did you choose to rewrite Blackbeard as opposed to someone else?
Well, so I found out that only the last 2 years of Blackbeard's life are documented. Only the last, yeah. So my family and I, we went on vacation to Charleston, South Carolina, and because I love history, I looked up all of the things to go and see, and I came across a little bit of information saying that Blackbeard had held the entire city of Charleston hostage.
Wow.
And I know, an entire city as a pirate.
Wow.
So I went and did more research, and I found out only the last 2 years of his life are documented, and I thought, bam, right there is my story idea.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Teenage Blackbeard before he became a pirate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know a lot of people are expecting it to be Pirates of the Caribbean, but I really wanted character development. What would lead a person to become that?
Yeah, I have no words. That's crazy.
Okay.
So what is it like writing in a place that actually existed at a time that has happened with people that did exist?
Right. Well, so Anne is a total figment of my imagination. All the characters are. Blackbeard is the only one that I know existed, but I checked out a lot of books. I've done a lot of research because I really just want it to feel authentic and feel true to the time.
Absolutely.
And so just a lot of research is going into it. And I've loved it though. So with Teach, because with Edward Teach Blackbeard, only the last 2 years of his life are documented. So I just took what that information is available and wove that through my story.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's hard to write in a time that already exists because you have to fill those customs in the correct way. And so I found it really interesting. That kind of leads in, was it easier or harder to write diversely as a historical fiction? Because Anne is, I think, part
Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Curacao. So interesting, in all of my research, I discovered that there weren't many people of color in England. There have been for centuries people of color, but the majority of the population was white, and so, and especially with the Atlantic slave trade coming in, most of the slaves were taken to the colonies or to the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
And so the people of color who were in England, it's ridiculous to imagine in this day and age, but yeah, the people in England didn't know how to treat them. And so it really is in my book where people didn't know how to treat Anne because she looks different.
Absolutely. It's very interesting because even in modern day, in contemporary days, people have a hard time fitting in diversity. So the fact that you were able to make your main character biracial in a historical fiction, I find that so awesome and so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Because diversity is important.
It is.
And we don't see enough of it.
No, and in fact, I've talked about this a lot with my family, just in writing the book and doing more research for book 2, because, the characters do go, that's all I can say is they're in the Caribbean. And so there is more to do with diversity there, and I just don't think our country has faced its history. We need to have these conversations about it.
Absolutely. Have you read Uncle Tom's Cabin?
I have not.
The first chapter, Tom's owner is talking to a man he owes money to, and he's trying to settle the debt with slaves, and it is awful. It is awful, and it's something. And I looked at it and I was like, why can't we talk about this?
Yeah,
because
it's all, our history has been whitewashed. So in order to prepare for book 2, I read a narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, and I heard the name Frederick Douglass in my history classes, but slavery is just mentioned fleetingly.
I know.
And it needs to be addressed, because there's still racism going on nowadays, and until we confront our past, I don't think we can move forward, which is why conversations of race are so important. We feel so uncomfortable when race is mentioned, but we shouldn't, because
it exists.
Exactly, and we need to face it in order to move past it. And I would never say that I'm an authority. I'm never going to be able to be an authority, but I had sensitivity readers. I had Angie Thomas, who's the author of The Hate You Give. I had her read through parts of my manuscript, as well as Nick Stone, both incredibly talented authors who happen to be Black, and I wanted them to read through my book to make sure I did it portrayed Anne and the circumstances accurately.
And it's really awesome that you've done that. We really need to be incorporating a lot more of the stuff now that we're seeing. And I'm just amazed at the fact that people haven't realized yet that we should be focusing on diversity in races and sexuality and illnesses that we don't see.
Yeah.
Because that's the world.
Yeah, it is. It's the world we live in. And we just, in order, that first step, you have to be able to have a conversation about it.
Oh yeah. So which viewpoint did you like writing from? Which viewpoint was easiest to slip into?
Well,
they're very different.
they are. I loved Anne. And so Anne was I just loved getting into her head, or her getting into my head. Teach was actually really fun too. I mean,
Sarcastic.
yeah, it's always the write what you know, but I didn't know anything about a young boy in, 17th century England, but I just loved these characters. I mean, they seriously came alive for me, and they were telling their story through me, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There comes a point when you are the hand, and that's about it.
That's it. Yeah. It's funny, I always joke with my family, it's like I have to let these voices talk to me, but it's almost that way, we have these characters, and I was always a daydreamer. So honestly, for me, that's what writing is. It's writing down your daydreams. When I was younger, I would just sit and think about all these stories and storylines and stuff, and it's a dream come true that I get to actually now sit down and write these.
It's awesome. It's definitely writing is a gift. Being able to write is a gift, and it's awesome. So the meetup the first time they meet is very interesting. I wouldn't call it a meet cute, but it's kind of
cute. It's memorable.
It's something. But what is your favorite meet cute in literature?
Oh, that's such a good question. I really love the trope enemies to lovers. I do love that.
Adorable.
Oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. As far as young adult, okay, Grave Mercy.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, Robin Lefevre's their meet, and the way the two characters meet, that's amazing. I really also, Marie Rutkowski, The Winter's Kiss.
Oh, I haven't read any of
That's
those books yet.
Or Becky Wallace, The Story Spinner. That's a
Any of
fantasy
these
as well.
books,
That's
yeah.
okay. You have time. And that's the nice thing is that all the books are out, so you don't have to wait a whole year for the next one. They're all out.
Yeah, marathoning series is like the bomb.
It
It's
is.
the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So my last question is, what can we expect from you next?
Well, I'm finalizing revisions on book 2, which it's a lot more swashbuckling, I would have to say, than the first.
Adventure.
So yeah, and so it does deal with some serious topics like slavery and things, and but yeah, so that's next. And then I have some other manuscripts I have to go back and take a look at to see, but yeah, writing's just a dream, so I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, bye guys.